what's up, guys? Welcome to SP, and today we're going to be talking about the framework, the most important chart in my trading. Now, if you want to see the edges, go watch the video about bookmap. But today we're going to be talking about the reference, the framework that I create for myself for understanding the market. That's the most important part of my trading. Now, there are a couple of things I want to talk to you about. This is an absolutely blank candle chart. So these are 30 minutes, as you can see right here. So we have a 30-minute time frame. This is obviously in Q. The first thing I want to point out, there's this chart map thing. It's a software. It's an add-on to NinjaTrader. I don't really use it, but what it does, actually, some people might find it useful, so I'm just mentioning here. It just automatically draws basically some algos, draws some levels of diagonal support and resistance. I don't know. I have it here because I'm testing it, but I do it on the weekends. Just go through charts and see whether there's some edge or no. So far, nothing for me, but obviously that's for me. Somebody might find an edge. So I'm just mentioning right there. If you want to go, I think it's chartmap.com or whatever. Anyway, they have like a trial for a week and then pay for a year. Anyway, so the other things that you see on the chart, as you can see, I don't have volume right here. I don't have delta. I don't have anything. So I have this volume profile. This is just go to indicators, zoom that a little bit. So we have the chart map, as I said. Actually, do I have? No, I don't. I don't know what the website is. I have visible screen on range. So visible screen range. Yeah. So this is this volume profile right here. Obviously, I have the point of control. That's it. The other one that I have for the flow volume profile, this is the one that's actually painting those lines right here. And what those lines are, that's the only thing I have from this volume point of control. You can see profile opacity right here. It's at 1. I want to make it 0. I can't. So I have it at 1. Extended naked point of control. Salmon solid 2 visible. So that's the only thing that I have from each day. Now what this is actually, so let's assume, and you see when I hit here, they're like these dots, that's the volume profile that's invisible. I know it does that, but when this day ends right here, so this is one day between the white vertical line. So this is one day. So when this day ends, right, this line is automatically painted. Why? Well, because this was the point of control for that day, and it just extends forward into time until tested. So the moment it's tested, it's gone. Now, I think this logic is faulty. These lines are very important, so I just extend them into the future. But now, how to create zones? So let's decide that we're going to use 10 days from 2024, and that'll be, for example, I don't know, 1st of February until the 10th of February, every trading day into this range. We're going to take it and we're going to create the zones. So forward, back in time, March, 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 March. Okay, don't do that. Come on, so we have to end with 10th of February. We're gonna go February 1st. All right, 10 days worth of data. That's okay. It's pretty trendy. So what we have to do first is we catch all the naked point of controls like that. And now if I hit shift, I think that it will create some problem for the system. So just try to keep it as straight as I can without hitting the shift. But so you have to just extend those. That's F3 on the keyboard for NinjaTrader. I think that for some reason the F3 the shift F3 to keep it straight is messing with the Epic mouse, right? This one that I'm using for like a pointer, so I just cannot hit the shift, or we're gonna get a bunch of error messages. So it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna keep them as straight as I can. They'll serve the point anyway to just illustrate the power of the extended naked volume point of control. And remember, I'm trading on a 2 or 5 minute time frame, so I don't need much in order for the day to be profitable, right? As I said in the comments from my bookmap video, I only need about 50 points from bookmap from NQ. I'm sorry, I only need about 50 points from NQ, and I'm done for the day. And the 2 minute ATR is usually around 15 points, so that's about three ATRs or three trades, one ATR each, and I'm pretty much done for the day. So not a lot. So these are the things that I first add to my chart. I extend them into the future indefinitely. Not very complicated. The second thing that I do with the chart is I add zones for swing highs and swing lows. Now, these are prominent swing highs and swing lows where price obviously got either rejected or there was some, some extreme action. So I'm gonna draw them 10 points wide, 77750. I'm gonna make this one 77740. I'm gonna start from the 1st of February, obviously, and for the end date, I'm gonna use the end of April, right? Because we want to see the predictive power of those zones, right? And by the way, just notice there is very simple, very slight extended naked volume point of control right here. Just be a cluster of those. So it doesn't really matter. So we start first. So this is the first. This is not into the first. So this is the first. And right from the get-go, the low of the pre-market, you obviously have a trade right from the get-go. You have a trade. This is a reaction, pre-market reaction. You need to add this. The day ends right around here. Obviously, it's a high. Obviously, it's a reaction next day. It's a gap down, whatever. You just add it. You have one trade, two trade, three trades. Now, had you had, seeing this, had you had the previous days, right, before we started actually using data, so this is invalid, but I'm just illustrating a point right here. This right here would go straight into this right here. But since we don't have it, so imagine we didn't trade January 31st, we weren't born, whatever, we'll have to add it here. So I'm just gonna add it like this to be able to catch the previous 2 weeks as well. So the entire data is right here. So this is obviously another zone. So we go day by day. We add this. We have to add this right here on top. Just bear with me. I'm just gonna draw it. All right. And you can see how trades in the future start lining up. I'm not making this stuff up, guys. It's right there. It's on the chart. You just have to look. All right. So we had this move. We had this move up. Obviously, we are into the chart. Now we have this move down. We do have a zone right here. I'm just gonna add this one right here. Copy paste it. I'm just gonna add this right here just for reference. I know this is the important part. You see, with this one right here, we have one, two, three trades. This one right here, and this one right here probably give you that trade as well because it was fairly close to it. I'm not gonna add this right now, this reaction right here, because it's part of another type of zones that I use. I'll just tell you in a second. Let's just finish this one. Right here, you have another zone. That's again part of the zones that I use. I'll give you an explanation in just a minute. Let's just keep adding those. So this one, all right, I'll just add it now and I'll explain a little bit later about it. Obviously, right here we have a reaction, surprise. Nobody's really surprised, I think, but by now, this one right here, there's a reaction. I'll explain a little bit later. Not going to add it now. Obviously, you have a reaction right here with this down move. Okay, so see, we gapped down. Is that a weekend? No, it was not a weekend. All right, so we gapped down. So I'm just going to add this one too. You have a trade again. And the high. So I'm able to catch the three. So this is what I have right now as zones. Now, the other two things that you need to keep in mind, and I'll just create, or just zoom on a day, so a single day. And a single day, I don't want to hit the shift key, otherwise we'd have to hit the shift key. So for the entirety of the pre-market, so meaning the Asian session and the European session, you catch the low, and you also want to have the high. I think the high is supposed to be, where's the high? 630. 630. So this right here is the high. The US session generally tends to test one of the two, sometimes the two levels. So I have them here when the US session opens, and I keep them until I trade as reference points. I know that the US session will try to test those levels. After the day is gone, I just move them to the next day. And that's why I said I'm not going to draw this one right here because this happens 30 minutes before the market opens. I have it as a zone. I also have this right here down as a zone. So this one didn't work. This one obviously didn't work. It just shoot through. But on the reverse, it flipped the zone, and this was a good long if you traded it, of course. So these are the zones that I use. The last part, round numbers. 1800, that's not 1800, that's 18,790, right? This one is this one. This one is almost perfect. Use this one, almost perfect. Um, this one, 300 right here, 200 right here, I use it, 400 right here, I'll just use them. But I don't draw them as well because it gets a little messy in the chart. So now we have the zones, we have this extended naked volume point of controls. Now let's move forward. Let's start and see the predictive powers of the zones. And remember, these are just zones. We need bookmap in order to identify if we have an edge to trade or not. VPI, sweeps, absorptions. If we do have a stop run or an iceberg, perfect, but we need to have a zone. So we need this chart first. So let's just go. Price action just stops here. Why does it stop here? I don't know. Do we have to draw it? Yes, because it stops right here. We don't have this on the zone. So this is how it goes. We draw it right here. It just stops. Here's the low. Here's the low. Support during the day. Right here we go up. I'm not going to draw this one either, but remember these zones right here. So this is your high, and your low will be, I'm guessing, oh, it will be very low. The low will come right here. Is that true? Yep. So low will be right here in the zone. So this one will come right here. Anyway, so we have it right here. So this is it. Let's see what happens with price. Remember, we drew, and actually, just, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put different color into that. So we know it's new, right? So we know this one is new. We didn't draw initially in the first 10 days that we actually used. So look what happens. Price goes down. Okay, here's rejection. Maybe we could have used that low right here as a zone to catch this one, but maybe we did not. Anyway, we drew that for sure. Look where we tested. We went back. We went back down. Where do we go to? We go right here into this zone. From this zone, we test this naked volume point of control. We go higher into this zone. Where do we go back to? This zone. This zone. Here's a new volume point of control. I'm not going to draw it now. At this point, I will stop drawing and we'll just, look at the things. So we go into this zone, test here, obviously bust through. Let's see what happens. We bust through, we go higher. Obviously, you have to draw this one right here because it's important, but on the way down, we test the zone, we test the zone. We draw them. I would say yes. This zone right here that we drew, just right here. 1, 2, see what happens here. Testing. This is a naked point of control. You should have that on your chart. I'm not going to draw it now, but I'm just showing you the predictive powers, right? Into the zone, you could short, into the zone, you can go long. Again, same zone, support, flipping the zone, going higher into the next zone. Oh my God. And you can see that these are not very straight. Not hitting the shift actually has a price to pay. Uh, but when I draw them for myself, I don't use Epic Pen, so I can hit the shift. Anyway, into the zone, into the extended naked point of control, back into the zone, huge short. That's 30-minute time frame, remember? So I'm trading on lower time frame, so I have time. But look at this. Where's the low? And you don't see the low. I do have this data box, but just sitting on the side. So if I look a little bit to, I don't know what you'll see, left or right, I'm looking at the data box. But our zone is 60, and the low for that is 63.50. So, oh my God, 3.5 points. Come on, ICT, you can do better. Just joking. Sorry. If you're a fan of the guy, it's okay. I mean, he's a great educator, not a good trader. Well, actually, I don't know if he ever actually traded at all, but good educator, good educator. So anyway, zones. Into the zone right here. Obviously, not everything works, but All right, so it goes back into the zone. You see, it just testing the zones right here. So back test the zone, go into this zone, go into this zone, go back to the zone, naked point of control, go back. Obviously, shoots a little bit lower, it just reverts and goes back. This zone is now it's oscillating between the zones. Now, right here we have a cluster of extended naked volume point of controls, but you need to draw the zone as well. Right here, you probably need to draw this zone as well because it's a little bit lower. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So we go higher here. Obviously, there's some reaction, not good enough for reaction, but you can probably get away with this without a loss. Same thing here. You could probably short, but seeing those wicks into the zone, probably it's a good idea to start, shooting for higher. And lo and behold, we have a cluster here, zones, some very, very um, curved naked point of controls, extend naked point of controls, and we go down and we oscillate. We go here, we go here. So, okay, so you see, it's obviously resistance, it's obviously support. There's absolutely nothing that will be very surprising to us. So it's right here, double bottoms, right here. We just reject here into the zone again, going down almost into the zone by just a few ticks into the zone again. It just, and I'm not making this up. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, what is that, 20 days ago? Into the zone, going back up. This definitely has to be drawn right here, but I said I'm not going to draw anymore. Right here, extended naked one point of control. Hit it into the zone, go back into the zone that we actually drew. Right now it's February 29th, so we drew it about 20 days ago. Back high into another zone that we drew, back low into an extended naked point of control that we drew, back high into this one. You could probably short right here. It would be good for, what is that? Let's take the half, so 62, and that is 92. So that's 30 points. Just that move is 30 points. I said I am for 50 points. I trade on a 2-minute chart. Into this zone, you can definitely short at back into this cluster. So we have 1, 2 extend naked point of controls, and it just shoots higher. And then you have to obviously at some point start adding new zones, deleting some old zones that are not so prominent, or just make them a little bit less colorful. So in bookmap, I don't know. I'm keep on doing that bookmap thing. So in NinjaTrader, so just lower the opacity, so something like that. So it's there, but not really interfering with what you're seeing and stuff like that. So this is how I draw the zones. These are the zones that I'm trading off, and I'm using bookmap. I hope this was helpful. Just get your instruments, whatever that you're trading. I don't know if you're trading in QSOs. Whatever you're trading, these zones are amazing. They're very powerful, and having bookmap as an edge, I think that to just make your trading a lot more fun. So next two videos that are coming up, they're on the volume profile, because I use a volume profile footprints. I don't use footprints now that I use bookmap, but before I started using bookmap, I was using the footprint. So I will show you both ways. Basically, pretty much the same things that you see with bookmap, you can see with a footprint. It's just for some things, it's a little bit harder. For some things like absorptions and sweeps, it might be actually a little bit easier. So I'm going to do 2 more videos. Live streams are supposedly starting next week. I hope everything with the resolution for the monitors, because I use high resolution monitors, YouTube, and the bitrate for the internet, a little bit tricky. So I have to sort that thing. I think I've sorted it out. Do some more testing, and live stream should go live. Obviously, next week, if they're live streams, they're going to go live. And that's it. Hope this was beneficial. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section. And I'll see you soon, guys.